Hey guys, welcome back to Tea for Two. I'm Emily and that's Soraya, and then we're with a special guest today, Kayla Maddox.
Yeah,
not Kemp anymore. Okay, so we're kind of just going to talk about her and just her, basically, all of it.
It's
everything.
an interview.
Yeah.
Oh, interviews make me
A
nervous.
low stress interview.
So chill interview.
Okay, so let's start with junior high.
So, from 6th grade to junior high was kind of nerve-wracking for me because it's a big transition because you have so much freedom now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're walking yourself to class. Like, I know that's, like, not a big deal, but, like, to me,
Yeah.
that was a big deal because I was like, you had recess. Like, you had things to do to make your friends, and now you don't. So, we had 2 different junior highs. And so, I went to one, and most of my other friends went to the other one. And so, I'm like, okay, now I have to start all over. And then I met Soraya in 7th grade. Yeah, that was fun.
We were in East class, right?
Was that where we
or
met?
Or was it keyboarding?
Okay, well, the thing is, I feel like we, first ever met each other
In the
volleyball.
Shoot,
I remember I did that. I was like, wait.
Yes.
I had to think back to when I first met you. That's when I first met you, but then I quit.
Yeah.
But it was because I was like, I don't know about
You're
this.
like, what is this?
Yeah. It wasn't me. Like, I'm not a cool girl. Like, I'm not able to be yelled at. Like I'm just not. Like, if you yell at me, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
So I was
cried
like,
several times
so I'm
too.
like,
It's
okay. When we like sat down, I guess like lunchtime was.
Yeah,
when
we probably
hung
sat
out.
together at lunch.
Then I was like, okay, well, I know of this girl.
Yeah, you know of.
Because of volleyball. And then we just, I guess, hit it off and always hung out at lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and then I just got around some friends that were not.
Our friend group was not the best.
It was not the best. It wasn't the best for us.
No,
We didn't
We were
reap
good
from
people
it.
in the wrong area.
Benefit from it. Because I was
Yeah.
like, wait, like when I got to 9th grade, I was like, wait,
What am I doing?
Yeah, I was
That
like,
me.
where did I go? How did I drift?
Yeah.
I was like, where's Soraya? Like, where'd she go? Where did I go? How did we leave each other? Because then I was like, when I got around different people, I was like, I don't feel like I belong in this group. I never
It was a
fit
very
in.
negative atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, that was a very dark time in my life, and it's definitely because of who I was surrounded with.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you,
Yeah.
obviously.
But it was
we're
like-
still friends.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know how that group got split up, but it did.
Thankfully.
But I'm like, okay, now if it would have stayed together, I don't, because I could tell little things were like, I feel like I'm your friend, but you're not mine.
Yeah.
Type thing.
That's
So-
also,
So, yeah.
Junior high is when you find out who's real and who's fake.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. But still, I'm like, we're so young. Like, we might stay friends. Like, I don't know how high school's gonna go. I'm like, but that was a rough little time in my life. But I was like, well, I hope Sarah stays around. But no, like, I ended up around people that I'm like, why? I don't know. How did this happen? But then after junior high, I felt like, okay, I feel refreshed now because I'm away from some people.
Yeah.
We can get back on track in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so how was your high school experience?
Well, 10th grade, I met Jace. So
Yeah.
that was good. That was perfect.
Nice.
No, actually, at junior high, I knew of him and, like, always would.
I was telling my mom about this the other day.
Okay.
I was like, he did go to our junior high and all this stuff. But I don't think they got connected till high school.
We didn't.
Glad I
it's
got that fact straight.
It's so funny how this happens because I'm over here.
We have a little visitor.
Special guest. I'm over here like I'm in love with this guy. Like he has no idea who I am, but like carrying the soccer ball everywhere he goes. Like he's a cute little wears a Nike
Silently
socks.
crushing so hard.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna marry this man, but he doesn't know that yet. So I had that idea in my head for the longest time, and I never talked to him. But it's okay because then, which is so funny because we get to high school, and like I never talked to him until like the day before high school, like the day before school started. Okay, which is I hate that it goes this way because it's like telling your kids how you met is gonna be funny because we were like. he's on my quick ad on Snapchat. Like, okay, this is the time to make my move.
Not the Snapchat ad.
No, it was bad. But it needed to happen. Like, the Lord knows. Like, we're meant to be married. So I added him on Snapchat. And I didn't even text him. I just added him. Like, I didn't expect anything. I was like, let me see if this man... No, didn't Snapchat him. Just added him. I was like, do people still do this? Like, do people just, like... Am I the only one that adds somebody and doesn't text them? Because then you just have a bunch of random people on your Snapchat. But I did. So...
That was the era for, like, adding as many people as you can.
Yeah.
Popular.
Yeah. I'm like... Okay, like, if this is meant to happen, like, if this is meant to be, we're really supposed to be married, then I am going to add this man, and he's going to add me back. And the thing is, the day before school started was my birthday. And so I had the little birthday cake, so I did it on purpose. Like, I had an intention.
Girl had a plan.
So anyway, added him. He texted me happy birthday. I was like, this is where it starts. And then... Yeah, so after that, we saw each other in the hallways all the time at, we started talking and then, like, talking about just random things. And then we saw each other in the hallway, but I knew he was so shy, so we weren't ever going to talk to each other. I saw him, and he saw me, and we were just like, like, hey, like, don't look at each other, don't make eye contact, like, and then he asked me to go to McAllister's, and that's where it all started. I was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, we're just going to hang out, and we're just going to go to McAllister's and go... I think that's it.
Because that's a fun first date.
No, it was so weird. He suggested
people.
that.
I hate McAllister's.
I hate it. Give it to me now.
Which we had to eat it for volleyball.
Oh, every trip.
We had to eat it there because it was quote unquote healthy.
And cheaper.
Yeah. So
the sweet tea and the cookies though?
That was my thing.
That was my thing.
What friend group did you hang around in high school?
Really? Like, I don't even know. Like, it was basically just Leah.
I was about to say, were you, like...
Because I wasn't even close with y'all. Like, I didn't know. I knew who you were.
Yeah, we knew
We passed each other in the halls. We didn't ever see each other.
No, we never had classes with each other.
Never had classes. Like, I felt like everyone was just so busy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have a set group of friends. I was kind of friends with everybody.
Well, the way we met was also very awkward.
Okay, tell me how you think we met. Because we might have different...
Okay. We met at my ex-boyfriend's pool party.
Okay, we did, yes.
Yeah.
That's
what?
where we...
Pool party.
Did I...
I don't know
she
if she
wasn't
was
there.
You weren't invited.
Yeah, she was. Like, I was like, I've always wanted to be friends with this girl, and I know her through, like, you know how you, like, think you know somebody, but it's through Instagram?
Yes.
You follow each other on Instagram and Snapchat.
All the time.
So I'm like, I know this girl, and I really want to be friends with her.
Okay,
cool.
well, my first impression of you was, oh, she's scary.
No.
Wait, Michaela is like 5'2".
No. No, not even 2. Not even 2. It's 5'0". It's 5'9". Like, there's none after the 5.
I was going to say, I'm 5'2", 5'3".
There's none after the 5. No, it's okay. I've accepted it.
Well, I was just... I'm a straight fact, okay?
Okay, please do. Like, I want
She got an RBF, okay?
Really?
Oh, she does.
Shoot. No, this is something I'm about to pray about. Like, no, we praying over this tonight.
Okay, it's not like a bad RBF. Like, some people just really like it shows. But she was just over there chilling in the pool, and I walk in, and I see her, and I was like, oh, I've heard of her. Like, I know her through Instagram and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I'm a shy person, okay? So
y'all were both shy.
I think that was the issue.
Like, and then once we get to know each other, I'm like...
Yeah, because I only knew Jaden there. And I was like, walking, I was like, I don't know anybody here. All of these people. So I was like, okay, hey, guys.
I felt like there was a lot of the other junior high, like...
Oh, that was something people. It's okay.
I felt like there was a lot more of them than there was.
I don't remember. I really don't remember
knowing
anybody.
I showed up with... Who did I show up with?
Prop. If I had to guess.
It was.
And that's what I would have to guess.
And someone else. But it was her for sure. We showed up. And I don't know how I became... This is the funny part, is that I don't know how I became friends with this girl. Like...
You look mad.
No, like, I don't know how we ended up being friends. But we did. And we went to this. And it's like... It's funny because this was one of the first times we ever hung out.
Yeah.
And then I came to this... like, pool party with a bunch of other people that I didn't know or didn't hang out with. And, like,
it was a random
I didn't know the guys there.
I didn't know anybody. I knew
but they all went to our junior high.
And I only knew who she was dating at the time.
Yeah.
That's why she was going.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm scared out of my mind.
Well, no, I was super nervous too, but I probably acted like I was really confident.
Why. That's why
I don't know how
like,
I do that. I really don't know how. But like,
we just sit in the corner.
Well, we got in the hot tub and avoided everybody. Like, we didn't even get.
No,
we got in
yes,
the pool.
that's why I was like,
Yeah, but it was me and that one girl.
Yeah.
We got in the pool, or we got in the hot tub. We were playing. I feel like we were playing games in the pool for a little bit. But I only really knew the guys there. Like, all of you intimidated me so much. Like, I didn't want to talk to any of y'all. And then some of y'all were like, that I've never met before, like, never ever talked to before. Like, hey, Kayla. I was like, how do you know me? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you because I'm scared of you and you're talking to me. So, like, I have to now. Like,
fear is your own worst enemy. It really is.
So, I was like, I thought y'all were scary. Like, y'all are talking to me. Y'all are saying my name. Like, what?
Yeah, that's how we met, and then we didn't really talk in high school. I'm not gonna lie.
No, we didn't ever. I was like, I just really wanted. After that, I wanted to be friends with you, but it just never happened.
One pivotal memory I have is me and my ex were walking out of the high school, and you and Jace were walking in, and we both go, "Oh, hey guys."
Okay,
like that's literally
we never
that's
had hung out
it.
before. We never. But I'm like, I know who you are. You know who I am. So I'm just gonna say hey. Like that's a nice thing to do. And I was like, man, I don't really want to hang out with him. And then we talked about that after when we walked in. We talked about that.
Really?
We were like, I want to hang out with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, not the ex
you,
but
yeah, no. I just met you.
But yeah, just me. Just you. Better.
But because Jess could care less. I mean, Jess is just there.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
So you really just hung out with Leah through high school.
Yeah, like when I hung out with. Well,
Leah is her best friend.
Yes.
Just gonna put that out there.
I hung out with one other girl, but then we kind of drifted like immediately because it was
polar opposites.
Yeah, it was like from junior high into high school. Okay, now
we are all changing and like it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say we did have Spanish together, and
we did.
No, not Spanish 2, Spanish 1. We had Spanish 1 together. We got in so much trouble in that class. She had to separate us because we talked too much in class.
No, that's when we first ever started talking about Jace, too.
I vaguely remember that.
That's when I was like, I'm going to start dating. Oh, my gosh.
She said, I'm going.
Oh, my gosh. No, I was talking about him in class, and it was, like, our first ever, like, Snapchat encounters. Like, and I would, like, talk to you about it. I would talk about it out loud, and all the other girls were like, oh, like, what if, like, how do you know him? Like, how
there
do
were
you...
a couple other girls in there that were
like,
preppier.
Yeah.
So it was.
And like, how do you?
Or Kayla chilling.
Yeah. Oh, like Jace Maddox. Like, I'm like, and then I think I left one day with you, and I was like, why are they talking like that? Like, how do you even know? Do you really know? Do you know her?
Did we learn anything in that class though?
No, girl.
No.
And then I saw her the other day because one of her kids. Or is that the pre-K?
Nuh-uh.
I saw her the other day, and so I was like, because I never learned anything.
She said, I remember, I quote her all the time, the alphabet is not important, so we're not going to learn it. We did not learn the alphabet in Spanish. And I got Spanish too and cried several times over Jess because I didn't know the alphabet.
No.
Okay, so after high school, tell us a little about what you decided to do.
Okay, so
I want to know, like, the thought process behind, like, what, like, the steps. I don't want to spoil it all from, like, one thing to another.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
Oh, gosh. Because I don't even know my own thought process. What did I think? Was I thinking? So, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to college because everybody else is going to college. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because I lived with my grandparents, and so my grandpa was so proud I was going to college, so I was like, I'm doing this. And so I did, and I went for 2 semesters at our college. Yeah. And I wouldn't say I didn't like, benefit from it. Like, okay, my major was elementary education. I was like, I know that's for sure what I want to go into. Like, I want to teach, all of that. But then I was like, I don't want to take all these steps. Like, I don't have to go about it this way if I don't want to. I cannot, like, keep my mind on one thing for this long. Like, and I know how many years I have to do this for. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. And so I just went off on a limb. I was like, oh, I'm going to try something else. I want to see how much I really want to be a teacher. So I went completely a different route and did esthetician school. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I mean, I do like skincare. I am all about that life. But do I want to do this every day? I don't know. Let's see. So I went to esthetician school. Like, that's so funny to me how that happened. But I was like, it was very spontaneous of me. So I did that. And that was like 6 months. That was the worst 6 months of my life. No. It's like jail. Like, I felt like I was in jail. Just the way that it's set up. It's like, the schedule's crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't have any time for anything else. And I was like, I don't like this. I want to do teaching. Like, I want to go back and, like, start that journey again. But then I was like, I know how I felt in college, and I really didn't, like, find any friends there. I didn't want to be in a sorority. If I was in all that stuff, maybe. But I'm like, that's just not me. That's just not.
Well, me and Sarah also talked about how the first year of college is so hard. Like, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Because you're going into a new place. You don't know anybody. Basically, you're there alone. And you feel like everybody else has their friends. But it's literally, everybody else is like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So.
It's like everyone's feeling the same, but y'all don't talk about it.
No,
so
yeah.
You don't. So
you
think you're the only one.
I'm not lonely. What are you talking about?
No. I was like, walking to class, I was like, everyone has someone to talk to. I'm walking by myself. Like, put yourself out there. Didn't know how to do that. So, did not know how to do that. I was walking there every single day by myself when I was in class. Never found anybody that I was like, oh, I could be friends with this girl. I don't know. I felt this is so mean. I found everybody annoying.
Me.
Oh my gosh, me. I was like, please stop talking. You're so loud.
I'm just trying to learn and leave.
I'm actually just trying to learn and leave. Like, I have my friends, but
no, I agree.
I really did want. I did really want some friends, but then everybody I found, that were in my classes and like around me, I just didn't. They didn't look like they were going to be good for me. So
I felt like I was so much of a homebody that my friends felt from back when felt more like home, and they felt irreplaceable. So I didn't want to find new friends because I was like, these people are not as good as my old friends.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah, I get that. I found one friend, and we became super, super close. But that's because of my job during, while I was in college, and so we worked together, and then we had like some classes together and everything. And that was the only friend I had in college, the only one. And I was like, this is not, like, why am I here whenever I'm miserable? Mm-hmm. I'm just putting myself through this because I'm trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so there was no reason for that. When I decided to go to esthetician school, I was like, we're really only doing this to figure out, like, okay, it could be side money. It could be, like, just a hobby. And I just do it, make a little money, but, like, let's see if this is going to make me want to come back to it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's not a good way to think, but...
Did you complete esthetician school? Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what I was just thinking about? I didn't even realize that we went to the same college. I didn't even know.
But I just didn't put myself into anything. We could have, like, hung out in college, too, but I didn't even realize that we...
Why didn't you want to rush? I'm just genuinely curious.
No, I'm too anxious for that. Like, I look like I'm so confident, but I'm not. Like, I have so many... Well, I know, but that even surprised me. Like, many people that did. I'm like, no.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm like, why are they in this? Like, what is which everyone has a different experience from it. Like, so I could have, but I'm like, putting myself in a big, huge group of people sounds like a no. Like, sounds like I'm gonna compare myself to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to feel like everyone's talking to everybody and I'm not. And I don't know, like, I don't know. I just didn't.
Oh, after, I can't say the word.
Esthetician school.
After that, talk about, like, where you went from there.
Okay, so after I graduated, I was working at the pre-K in the afternoons, and then I did esthetician in the morning. So then I graduated, and I just worked at the pre-K, and I really, like, I think it was starting summer. So it was starting, like, the new school year, so it was only aftercare. It wasn't, like, during the day. I didn't have to work at the pre-K. So I had, like, esthetician I could be doing. People kept asking me, like, at the pre-K and stuff, like, are you going to work here? Are you going to, like, I applied at places, but I was like, I'm not feeling like I'm passionate about this at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not passionate enough to do this. I want to just do this for my friends and for my family and for myself. Yeah. Like, I figured that out really quick. And so when people were asking me, like, where are you going to work? I'm like, girl, I don't know. Like, I don't have any idea. I don't really want to do this, but I didn't really tell that to people because I wanted them to think, like, I was passionate about it. But, so I stopped just in doing anything with aesthetics, and I just kind of felt, like, just lost. Like, what, do I want to go back to school? Like, and that's when I started talking to a teacher at the pre-K, and she was like, I was asking her how she became a para, because I was like, that's so something I would do, because I worked at a bunch of different aftercare places, a bunch of different summer care places, and I knew what age I wanted to work with at that time. Like, I was like, okay, at this point, I know I want to work with pre-K, and so how are they doing it? And, like, why are there two teachers in a room? Are they both, what do they have? Like, what degrees did they get in that? And so I talked to her because she's, like, our age. And I was like, I really want to get she was telling me about her CDA. I was like, CDA? What the heck is that? Yeah. I was like, let me get that. Like, and, like, at that point, I knew I wasn't making a spontaneous decision. Like, I was like, okay, I want pre-K.
So
like,
my question for you is, you're Christian and all.
Yeah.
How much do you think, looking back, did you lean on God during that time period of
That's switching? A good question. No.
If you feel comfortable sharing. No. You can share if you want or not.
I, like, leaving college, and that was, like, the end of spring semester. I was like, I'm just done with this whole thing, so I'm just going to be done and leave. Like, I said, I'm going to pray about it. Don't worry, I'm not making I did make a spontaneous decision. I didn't, like, talk to God about it. I didn't pray about it. And so, like I said, I wasn't all of it. I really wasn't doing that. And so that's why I think that I made this decision, and I lost so much money from it. Like, it was expensive to do all that, and then it was, like, got me nowhere. Like, I could have been on this whole different path the right way, doing it the right way, and just waiting. Like, that was my thing. I didn't wait. Even if I did pray about it, I didn't wait to hear back from God.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I was very patient and prayerful about it, but going from aesthetics to where I'm at now and, like, getting my CDA, so much. I
was about to say, like, have you grown since that first moment?
I was like, not making that decision again. Not making that mistake again. But, so I think I have been, from there on out. Like, after aesthetics, I was like, I'm not, like, gonna make my, like, this kind of mistake again. Like, I want to be somewhere. Like, and I want to have a purpose. And I want to know what that is. And so I was like, I need to be praying about this, because I feel so led to be in these kids' lives and, like, encourage these kids and be just such a good influence on them. And, like, as a para, I see myself doing that. When I was subbing, I was like, okay, I can see myself in this position. But then I was like, okay, if you want this so bad, like, it's worth waiting for and, like, getting confirmation from God.
Yeah, I will say, you are such a godly woman. You being in that setting is so good for those kids, even if they're not going to remember you.
Yeah.
Because they're so young.
They're so
But
little.
so many of those kids need so much love.
Yeah.
And not just a human's love,
yeah.
they need God's love. So
I'm
very thankful that you are working there now.
That means so much to me. Because that's all I want to do for them. I was like, I'm not going to make another decision like that and just rush into anything because they need someone that cares about them, and I do, and I want this to be right, even if it's not if it's anywhere with some children, I can be a role model to in the right way, they need the right kind of love, and I see that I don't see that enough, in so many people, being in from home life to being at the school, the teachers, I'm just they need. Not that I'm lifting myself up in any way, but I'm I know God's love, so I want those kids too.
Yeah, you're not lifting yourself up, you're lifting up God.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Yeah.
So
that's why I did it. That's why I'm doing it.
I have a question. So I know you can get your CDA.
Yeah.
What made you not want to go back to school and finish out just getting a degree?
I was no, I don't want to take too long. I want to be in it right now. And I think that's also part of, getting married young. You have to make those kind of decisions, too. Yeah. And I knew I wanted to get married young. Mm-hmm. And I was I can go back to school since I'm doing it online and I'm getting my CDA. I looked at it really thoroughly before. I was I'm actually going to get my associates. I'm not, and so that I could be the lead. Mm-hmm. But then I was it does still take 2 years, and, I can go back to do that. And I probably will, because the way that I like to, handle my own classroom, I can tell. Mm-hmm. And, super structured, super planned, scheduled. I want to be in control of all that, so I'll probably go back. But it's so easy, doing online, mm-hmm. and I knew that I didn't want to be on campus. That's just not the life for me. So I was I'll just do this online for now. Probably be a parent for a few years. I want to have a family and stuff. And, I need to be in this position for a little bit. And then later on, I'll probably grow and do something more. Yeah.
Speaking of family.
Is there something?
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant.
PSA.
I am not pregnant.
Okay. Let's get into Jace. Okay, you kind of already gave us how you met and your first date and all that. Yeah. But just tell us, how high school was being in a very, serious relationship.
Well, like I said, I didn't hang out with a lot of people. It was mostly just Leah and Jace, because I hadn't really found my group yet. Mm-hmm. So, it was just them. And then we were always together, and we knew, I think we both kind of knew that we were dating to marry. I think that we both had those intentions. And if you don't, you just don't it's just not good. Mm-mm. It just don't end up well.
Yeah.
But, so we had that. No, I was there, girl. I was there. And I'm there's just a waste of time. There was so much I could have been doing. Mm. So we knew that we wanted to get married. We were we're not going to be dating to just have fun. And that I don't know when we actually talked about, if we want to get married young. Mm-hmm. That never really kind of crossed our minds to talk about, ever. We just, had so much fun together. I think it was the beginning of college when I was okay, we're actually going to get married. But he chose such a good family, and, so many people just lifting him up, and he has such good support, and the Lord, and that's what I was looking for in a man, because I was I need somebody that's going to lead me the right way, and I knew that's what I wanted, so it happened.
Few and far between, these guys.
Yeah, it's how is he so good? Stop. How?
Men out there, step up. I mean, come on.
Emily, come on, I need a husband.
Emily,
yes, we got it. Look. we're gonna find this girl a husband.
I was trying to find her somebody at the beach.
Yeah, she goes,
I was like, what about him? What about him? What about our
Please.
waiter? No.
No, I've always been so excited. Anytime Emily would bring up a guy, I'm like, okay, this is the one. This is happening. Lord, please. No.
And then he's gone the next day.
So, since you're a newlywed,
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't get that, by the way, she's newlywed.
Yeah,
For
show
how
that ring
how
off.
long?
Literally just like a month.
A month?
A month
That's
and a few
marriage.
crazy.
Month and a few days.
Okay, anyways. What are, like, some tips that you would like to share for some newlyweds?
Hold on, I actually wrote them down.
Oh, good, good.
Okay. So, I hear a lot of people say, this is something I'm so passionate about, because people, like, don't want to get married young. That's fine. They, like, start their life and then they find that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that didn't happen in my case. I found that person as I was going through life. We pretty much grew up together, which is so good, and, like, grew us? Is that even a word? Like,
Sure.
made us grow closer together because we, like, always had each other, and it was just fun. And so we have a fun time, like, all the time. And so I was like, why would I want this all the time, every single day, when I wake up, when I go to bed? Why would I not want that? And yes, there's, like, hard times. Like, marriage is not just, like,
Yeah.
sunshine.
rainbows.
It's, like, not like that. But we knew what we wanted. We tried to follow the Lord as much as we could in everything that we did. We tried not to let temptation, like, get to us, or break us down, or break us apart. It was very hard, but we're like, we are here to build the kingdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here for. We knew our purpose was that, and so I'm like, we're gonna be great for each other, and we're gonna have hard times, but it'll be okay. So one thing that I said, or that I wrote down, was, like I said, I hear people say all the time, marriage is hard. Well, that's so true, but you don't have to sit in that, because people like to let any and every little detail get them down and rolling in the dirt, and it's like, why are you, like, if you serve each other every day, if you, like, compromise over things and talk through things, that is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is some things that I used to not want to do, and I'd be like, Jace, like, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do that. Like, that's not something that I'm interested in doing. Well, now I'm like, he gives so much. You have to find someone that is just going to give you just as much as you give them.
Mm-hmm.
And he does that in everything. Like, there's so many things I don't have to ask him to do. He just looks at it and he's like, oh my gosh, like, this could be done. I'm going to do it. And for her.
That's good.
And I'm like, what? Like, how? How do you do that? How do you just walk around, just find things to do for me and, like, want to show me your love? But he does. And he's so selfless. And so just serving each other every single day is, like, the biggest thing, because I'll have such a bad day and he'll see that and he'll do something. It's the smallest thing. Like, for instance, I like my burrito filled up. Okay? Like,
Yeah,
if it's
literally,
not
yes.
filled up, I'm going to be mad. Like, I'm going to be real mad, and I don't do it. Like, I'm not going to do it. You do it. Like, and so if my burrito's filled up, I'm like, happy. If I'm opening that refrigerator door and it's, like, all the way to the top, like, as high as it can be,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, man, like, crisp, good, purified water.
Yes.
Like, he did that. He did that. And then, like, doing the dishes or something. Or whatever. Like, just doing those little things for each other. And, like, me doing his laundry. Like, obviously, that sounds like, okay, you're a wife. Like, you're supposed to do that. But anyway.
No, I told EJ, I was like, listen, I'm not going to do your laundry. I'm going to do my laundry.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to end up doing the kids' laundry.
Yeah.
I'll do the kids' laundry. But, I mean, like, I'll do the dishes.
Yeah.
I'll do other things.
Yeah.
But you're keeping your nasty laundry
Yeah.
to yourself.
No, it's, like, so hard to do that because you're like, ew, like, you're a boy.
Yes.
Like, but then I'm like, stop. Like, I like, we're one. Like, I love you. Whatever. But, and there's just little things that I know that he would love for me to do. And even if it's just, like, looking at him and, like, being interested in something that he's saying.
Yeah.
Like a sentence that he said and he was, like, so passionate about it.
Boys are so simple.
I know. They are. Just do the things. Like, just do the things. Just act just say yes. And they're like, man, she loves me. Like, she really cares.
Laugh at their jokes.
Seriously, just do it.
Even if it's not funny.
Just do it. Yeah.
Okay, before you get on to the next one.
Yeah.
Did you have any backlash with getting married so young?
Oh, yeah, girl. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let's get comfy for this one.
Because I feel like there's such a hate to people that get married young. Shit, like, they're too young, they don't know who they are, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you really feel like this is your soulmate, why not get married? Why wait? Like, that's my thing.
And listen, me and EJ have already gotten backlash for that, like, talking about marriage.
Oh, gosh, you're not even married yet. You're not even married
And it's like,
yet.
no, what are you doing? I'm like, time out. Is this your relationship?
Hold on, is this your life?
My thing is, our parents got married young.
Girl.
So I'm like, what does that even matter?
Oh, girl. Me and my Nana had this talk. And she was like, you need to get married? Like, why are you thinking about that? I don't think so. I said, girl, tell me when you got married. I said, say it.
One more time for the people in the back.
For the people in the back. And then she said, well, you don't have to be like me. And I was like, but when you know that the person, you're confident in the person that you're marrying, and, like, people that are older than you, they're like, well, we thought that too. Okay, but for me, it's like, if Jace is really faking all of this, that's a lot.
No,
like,
yeah.
It's been a long time.
Man. Okay. Jace used to actually say all the time, he's like, if I didn't want to do this, like, I wouldn't. Like, if I didn't want to be married to you, or because if we would get into stupid little arguments, he'd be like, if I didn't want to, like, be in this serious relationship, I don't have to. But I chose this.
I think people also think that when you're dating, you can be so fake to each other because you don't see each other all the time. But when you've been with someone for, how long were y'all dating? How many years?
4.5.
Exactly. Like, he can't be fake for 4.5 years.
No. It's like, if you are really going to give all that up, man, like, that's a lot of time you just wasted.
Yeah.
Like,
what's your go-to response to someone be like, oh, you're getting married young? Why are you doing that? What would you say?
I'm like, well, we're both following the Lord. We both have Him, and we're confident that we have gone through a bunch of things because we're supposed to be together. I mean, like, I don't think that we would just be in each other's lives for no reason and just to leave each other. Like, and, like, I actually say that. I'm like, why would we be doing this for so long? Like, really trying to work through all of our problems, growing together, like, making this thing work for 4.5 years to just possibly get married.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think we're doing out here?
I'm not doing this to have fun. Like, why would I be arguing with him about shoes? Like, where the shoes go? This is just fun. This is not for fun. Like, I want this to work out for life. Like, I don't want to be wasting my time.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I have a friend, and she's like, why do you want to get married so young? Like, I want to wait until I find my person that is, like, for sure. I was like, why don't you think that this is for sure?
Yeah.
Just because we're different ages, you know? Like, a lot of people nowadays want to have their life figured out, making their money. It's all about money, making enough money on your own, like, feeling stable by yourself, and then you can get married. And I'm like, are you saying that because you're not, confident that this will work out? That's a bad start.
Yeah.
Like, that's
might as well
not do anything with that.
Well, okay, I've had the opposite happen to me too. Like, EJ's grandparents, no hate to them because I think it's hilarious. He's like, oh, well, she had our first baby whenever she was 19. And I'm like, hold up, I'm 20.
No.
Hold up. He's like, what are you waiting around on?
Oh,
like,
that's Jason's grandparents have done that. They're like, y'all might as well be married already.
Yeah, exactly. And I honestly love that because it makes me feel so, like, giddy on the inside.
Yes.
It's like, you love me, you want me to be here.
Yeah, I feel wanted. Like,
you know?
Yeah, that's how it is for us. Like, his grandparents are so funny too. Like, they're always like, well, you can say they love each other. Why aren't they just gonna get married already? Like, and we, just had to wait for the right time.
Yeah.
They don't understand that, I guess, but they were there once, like they did the same things. But another thing, like me and my cousin talked, and we were like, I told her how I was nervous before I got married. Like, I'm nervous that we still don't have a lot of things figured out. Like, we don't know a lot about each other, like, in certain random things, like, so random. We don't know how many kids we want. I'm like, and she's like, you don't have to have that all figured out right before you get married. You're going to stress yourself out. Like, that comes with life, and, like, you don't have to have everything figured out. Because she got married, and I was like, because they hadn't been dating for very long, but she was like, when you know.
Yeah.
And their love for each other is so evident. Like, they are so giddy with each other in person, like, around each other in public. When you can do that with your spouse or whoever, like your significant other, when you can just be in love in front of people, I mean, like, not PDA, but, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can just be, like, just eyes locked on them, like, caring for them. Do you need this? Do you need that? And they do that so well. I'm like, we're only dating for how long? And, like, you can love each other this much. This is crazy. Like, so that's why I believe so deeply when you know. Like, that's me.
That's why there's hope for you.
My parents, I learned something the other day about my parents.
Oh, gosh. What's up?
They met, and then on their 1-year anniversary, they got married.
Hold up, wait.
No.
My parents dated for 6
that's
months,
crazy.
too. 6 months engaged.
6 months, yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, good for them. They're still together.
No,
I mean,
really,
they're still
like,
together. I mean,
great
good
for
them.
you.
Yeah. Like, it happens, and it's
My
okay.
Lord, I will take that time.
Oh, God.
Send them right now.
6 months later.
Yeah. Man, we're all, like, married friends. Like, something talking good about my marriage, someone will say, oh, you just wait. I'm like,
Oh,
wait for what? Like, we love each other. We're going to go through things together.
Everybody
That's just going to
does
be it. Everybody does.
yeah.
And it's so much better, in my opinion, because it's like I get to be with my best friend every single day. If you're not best friends, why are you getting married?
Yeah.
Like, that's your fault. Like, if your marriage did not work out.
Where you, like, fight all the time.
Yeah.
That's completely different than, like, best friends fighting, I think, in my opinion.
It's like when you can argue. Like, arguing is not the problem.
No.
Arguing has never been the problem. It's the way that you argue.
Mm-hmm.
And how long you let that, like, simmer and, like, bother you.
And how petty you are.
And how,
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're really gonna, girl. No, because I'm not saying this because I don't do that. Like, I'm over here, like, so mad about the dishes in the sink. Like, he's my dishwasher, by the way. If they're in the sink still, though, I'm like, dude, like, do stuff around the house, man. But he does. But it's like, it's not on my timing. I'm so mad. Like,
yeah.
And then, so there, things like that happen, but really, I mean, get over it. And then the last thing I said was, it is so hard. Like, when you're getting married young, it is, at least for us, so hard financially.
Mm-hmm.
You just stop. Give that a moment.
Let it sit in.
Let it sit in, okay? It is so hard. But if you can't be broke with that person,
Live in a box with them.
over.
Come on.
It's over. If you can't like not have food one night, real.
Starve together.
Let me tell you, that's real.
Find some crackers.
We had some crackers the other night. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
You chose this. We chose this.
That is true.
You know? And so we're going to get through it. And we did. Like, we did. We sometimes have to scrounge up, but, like, it makes us stronger in the end. Like, in the future when we actually have really good jobs or whatever.
And you get to tell your kids, you know, when we first
came
got
from
married, we
nothing.
came from nothing.
Right. So, like, if you know, that relationship, that bond between you isn't strong enough to get through hard times, like that, where you're having, like, nothing to, like, it's so real. Like, I'm not trying to put on a show. Like, it's so hard to, like pay all the bills and have enough for this.
Yeah.
Or that. Like, that's hard. But, you know, you want to do it together. And love each other so much. You want to be with each other all the time. You chose to get married young, and that's just going to make you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just going to make you so much stronger. And then whenever you do have money to eat and not have crackers on the table and yogurt, then that's what I ate that night. That's why I said that. He ate the crackers, I do. That's all we had. And whenever you have more than that, then you're like, man, you remember when? And it's like it's like a good story. It's like, man, we could have gotten mad at each other because you spent this there, or you didn't make sure that we did this before we bought this, or whatever. Like, we could have gotten mad at each other, but we're like, we're going to work through this.
So are you guys good at budgeting?
Not really.
Okay. Well,
he is, but I'm not.
I can help you out.
Yeah. Have you seen her bank account?
No.
Girl.
You don't want to look.
No, you don't.
Mad at me.
You would be mad at her.
Mad?
Yeah.
Like money?
Yeah.
She got that money coming in.
Yeah. Which she don't have any bills. She lives at home.
Yeah.
We have to keep that in mind.
I was about to say.
But, man, we're having a meeting after this. Financial meeting. Let me call Jason so I
can help you out.
No. Okay, so guys, we figured out our budgeting struggle.
So Jason's
good at it, and I'm over here like, he's like, where did that money go that we just added?
Okay. Also, another controversy. Do y'all have joint bank accounts?
We do.
Okay. That's also a very big.
I know.
I don't understand that either. I'm like, if you're married, why not?
Sorry.
It's okay.
We were talking to somebody at work the other day. You, me, and another girl, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't want to have joint bank accounts." And I was trying so hard not to be mean. I was like, "Girl, what? Why?"
I know.
And then she started talking about how much divorce happens, and I was like,
That's.
See, but you're not coming from a godly perspective. Like, if you're living in faith, divorce is not an option. But, I mean, there are some... I'm not going to say...
affairs.
All that stuff.
Right.
But majority of the time, like, you're going to stick it out through everything, and you're not going to get a divorce. If at all possible.
Yeah, so when she said that, I was like, trying so hard not to be like... What are you talking about?
No, my facial expressions. That's never even
been like a... I'm lucky my back was to her, honestly. Except first I was like, what? Like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, the way that I see it is you don't need to get married if you don't trust each other.
Mm-hmm.
You did say that to her.
Did I say that?
I think so.
I should have. And so I'm glad I did.
think you did.
Okay. If I did, then I'm glad.
Which I was standing there nodding my head. I was like,
yeah.
I did say that.
You did.
Let's go get him, girl. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, that doesn't really make sense because I wouldn't marry anybody unless I didn't think I was ever going to.
Once you said the trusting thing, that's when she brought up divorce, is that she didn't want to undo all that. Still have money. That was only in her
That's
name.
the thing. Like, that's the thing I was getting at when I said everyone nowadays wants to be so much older, wiser, and have so much money, be stable on their own, because they have this idea of, a lot of them have this idea of getting,
like, I'm going to have to do this on my own. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is so sad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There are so many kids that don't know that stable life, and then they grow up thinking
that it's okay.
That's what to expect. Mm-hmm. That's why we are doing this podcast. To show the love of Jesus.
To show the love of the Lord. No, that's what makes me so upset. I'm like, why am I, which I mean, I went through that, like, my parents got divorced, but like, I experienced that in my own life, but that only made me want to find someone that loved me enough not to do that. Like, not to want to do that to me. I don't want to be with somebody that I don't feel like could love me through every single thing.
Which you had your grandparents to look at also.
Yeah. Their marriage was such a great example. Oh my gosh. Like, everything about their marriage. I was like, how? Y'all just get through all this stuff. Like, but, yeah. And my grandpa was such a great leader and everything. But it's like, I need to stop looking at people like, because that was hard not to want to make a face or like say something, because people think that that's the norm.
Yeah. I have to remind myself all the time that I can't expect Christian morals, Christian attitude from someone that's still living in the flesh.
Yes.
So, like, not necessarily,
so
like,
hard.
lowering my expectations because we're so much better or whatever.
No.
We're just set apart, which is what the Bible says, that we are holy, which means we are set apart.
Yeah.
So we see things differently.
Yeah.
And we take in things differently.
Yeah.
And so I have to constantly remind myself of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're looking through the eyes of God.
Yeah.
And, like, unfortunately, Satan has changed this whole world and, like, made it
destroyed
awful. So we're always like, what is going on? What is even happening? And it's hard because people are not looking through God's eyes. They're looking through the world's eyes. And it's like, you think this is right? Like, do you not understand? Like, it's so hard for me personally because I'm like, how do you even fathom? Like, that's correct.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that.
Why is that a thought in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I try so hard to put myself in other people's shoes and, like, think, well, okay, this is why they think this way. No, I don't understand why certain thoughts are, like, thoughts. Like, I'm like, why do y'all think this way?
It can be so controversial. Abortion. That makes me so sad.
It makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's the one thing that, like, every time I'm like, God, I'm so glad that you will give him justice one day. That's just what I gotta tell myself that every day.
Yeah.
So.
It's difficult to think about, like, to really deeply think about what's going on in that, like, that they don't see it. Like, when, oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's like they just skip over. It's not a thought in their mind when it's abortion.
No,
and it's Satan has just blindsided everybody.
It's not. Yeah, like, it's not what we think. Like, we're thinking too deeply about it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what
they try to make us seem like the bad guys.
Yeah,
but we're not. We're trying to save a life.
Yeah,
and
that they deserve. That they didn't do any of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your decisions made this happen. You deserve to live with that. And this baby deserves a life. Like,
there are some situations where you don't always know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I get that. But there are other options that are so much better for that baby's life.
Like, and I can even really, like, I know we're not, like, this is, like, off topic and, like, we brought this up. But
no, this is good conversation.
But this is really, really good because I can speak personally, my own life about this. Y'all probably don't even, which I might have told her, but I have 2 brothers, okay? I have a brother that actually I lived with and, like, all that. That's been in my life my whole life. But I have another brother that my parents, they were, like, not thinking, and they weren't planning for this, but they had a baby. And so it was my little brother. And then as soon as they, like, when they went to the hospital and she was in labor, she had my brother. And then the people that were there to adopt him were there. She never saw the baby, so she didn't have any kind of, like, connection, like, that she couldn't, like, okay, I can't let this baby leave me now, because, like, I know what he looks like. He looks like me. He looks like my dad, and because they couldn't afford it financially. Like, they made that decision, but they knew my mom was so strongly about not doing abortion, and so when they were, like, she had the baby, I don't know if she just, like, turned her head, but, like, she couldn't see the baby, or that just wouldn't have happened. She would have kept it. Anyway, and those people came and got the baby, and
which is so hard to think about.
Yeah.
But it's so much better than...
It's so much better. Like, it's so hard not have never known my brother. Like, never. I know nothing about him. I know nothing about the family. If he chooses to see me when he's 18 years old, like, that's his decision, and that's hard if he doesn't want to. So, I know nothing about that family. They know nothing about me, I guess, as far as I know. But he has a life that those parents wanted to have. They wanted to have a child if they didn't. Whatever their situation was where they needed to adopt a little boy, they got that.
Yeah.
And that boy is having an amazing life.
So. And I feel like abortion is like a fallback because you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want.
That's a good point.
And I can just have an abortion. And like, I don't have to worry about it.
I hate that thought. And because I know people like that. I'm like, how?
Yeah. Because having a baby is not something to be so carefree about.
No.
The Bible tells us to wait till marriage, and this is why, because it's not just this easygoing decision. A baby's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, no sleep. Like, it's not something to take lightly.
No. What if we have...
That was really heavy.
No. We needed that. I think we all needed to get that off our chest.
Yeah. Are we... I feel like we covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah. Me too.
Are we good to wrap up?
Yeah.
Do you want to share your POV? Oh, it's called...
We call it POV, Walking with Jesus.
Oh, I love this. Okay, you talk to me a little bit about this.
Yes. So, basically, I can share mine. And then if you want to share yours, you can.
Okay.
Let me grab my Bible.
Here, let me hold it. Let me explain it to you while you're getting it set.
Yep, you got it.
So, POV, Walking with Jesus is kind of what we've been learning throughout the week. Through our Bible, through church, through Bible studies, prayer, anything that's just kind of on our mind, on our hearts.
Okay.
I've been going through Romans. She's starting a new book from the last time she talked, I think.
Yeah. Because all these are kind of short ones. You gotta find it.
So, feel free to share whatever you want.
Okay.
Whenever you are ready.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
If you got something to do.
Okay, I can go.
Yeah, go.
Well, so just kind of like what God's put on my heart the last couple weeks, I feel like God has really made me think about how faith is dead without deeds. And like people think, which I thought this too, that faith and deeds are like they go together, okay? In my opinion, they go together. It happens. It's inevitable if you have faith and deeds they come with it.
I agree.
I used to think that you just did a bunch of good things and then, God saw favor in that and like you were good. You were just good. You were good in his eyes. It was fine. But that's not, I've like looked at it a little bit differently the past couple weeks because he's been teaching me that's not right. That's not true. That's not right. It's when you do have faith in the Lord and you do believe in God, it's not just you say it, I believe in God, and you just move on with your life and you're just worldly. You just continue to live in the world. No, if you truly do believe in the Lord and you follow him, you read your Bible, you're prayerful, and like you have good people around you that you can fellowship in the Lord with, like then your life will reflect that. Like the good things that your life will reflect that. You don't have to do it too. You don't have to do it with it. Okay, it's my faith in the Lord and all these good things I have to do. No, you want to do them. You desire to do them.
To glorify God.
Yes. Yeah. When you have faith in the Lord and you want to follow after him. Like, and I didn't realize that for the longest time. I don't know why. It just didn't click. But it's been clicking. Like, it's in James, I think, where it talks about it. Like, James 2 something. But it's like you do desire to do these good things and like be a good person and do things for people, like what my pastor was talking about. He was like, if you talk to somebody and they tell you that they trust you and they tell you about how they are really struggling financially and they really like don't have any clothes for the children or something, and you like say, okay, I'm gonna go pray for you, like I'm gonna like make sure that I'm in prayer for you and I hope that this works out, but you don't do anything about it. It's like if you're really like following after Jesus and like you want to love like him, like you want to love like Jesus does, then you would just want to do that. You just want to go home and pack up all your clothes that you have laying around and go give those people those things. But when you're not in that, it's just like Okay, well, I'm gonna pray.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's a band-aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So, those two go together. And that's what I'm learning.
That's
right
good.
now.
We've definitely talked about that.
Yeah, the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah.
I've brought up the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is 2 Thessalonians 8. It says, "And then the lawless one will be revealed. The Lord Jesus will destroy him with the breath of his mouth and will bring him to nothing at the appearance of his coming." That kind of goes along with what we were talking about, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's like the power of Jesus is so unfathomable because, like, I'm like,
well, that's a big word. Sorry.
Unfathomable?
because I'm like, one breath will bring justice.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so crazy.
Chills. I just got chills.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's talking about, like, the people that are,
Sorry.
no, it's okay. It's talking about the people that are, like, lawless and not following the Lord and stuff, and how, like, he will reign. Jesus will reign. And he will be over everything. One day. And just...
I think it is so crazy that there are so many people on this earth that think they have so much power, but then when you look at what power they think they have versus what God actually has, it's kind of like mind-blowing, for me at least, where it's like, in my head, I think you have power, but you really don't.
Yeah.
You're just like me.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can do to stop God from coming.
No.
God could come right now and you can't be like, hold on, I'm still doing something.
Yeah. And it's sad to think about that because you have to, like, it's like, I want this person to
understand the glory of God.
Yeah.
Like,
that, like, what you're doing is detrimental. What you're doing is sending you to hell. Like, and you hate to be that brutally honest, but it's like people need that.
Yeah.
People don't get honesty anymore. It's like, I support whatever you support because I love you, and like because it's okay. Like, we can all just love whatever we love and think whatever we think, and I don't want to be mean to you. Like, everyone's so sensitive.
Yes.
you can love a sinner but hate their opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Jay says, what is it? I love the sinner, I hate the sin.
Well, guys, that was a really good episode. That was probably one of my favorites, I'll be honest. That was really good.
I got really into it.
She doesn't like just
no. She's like, why can't she have us on?
Just because it's something new, something fresh.
Yeah.
You know, we've never interviewed anybody before.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So, shout out Kayla Maddox. Thanks for coming.
That's like my new name. Yeah.
Did you have fun?
I'm excited. That was fun.
Okay,
that was good to talk and get a lot off my chest. So
I feel
I'm
like
glad
we've never,
that. Sat down and have a deep
Yeah.
conversation.
No, it's always like very surface level.
Because we do work together, so it's always like,
hey,
girl, listen to what just happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Let's all say bye.
Okay, bye
Bye, guys.